Hey everyone, this is David. Welcome back behind the velvet rope. Let's just get right into it today. She has her pink background up to match ours. She's back, Miss Sarah Fraser.
David, I love you so much. We are like you and me behind the scenes. We are working on so much. And when we announce our project, I almost feel like we have to do a little mini reality show, like a behind the scenes of Sarah and David, because you are, I don't know, you're just amazing. You've become one of my dearest friends. I look forward to your phone calls. My husband even is like, oh, is that David Yontef now? It's so funny. He's like, what's David Yontef have to say? And we always say both of your names for some reason.
Kind of like Lisa Rinna and Harry Hamlin. I love it.
It's true. We always are like, David Yontef, what's David Yontef doing?
Listen, I'll even send you one of my great behind the velvet rope mugs, product placement, gratuitous. No, can I just tell you, a lot of people do like these. This is what I send a lot of the guests that are on this show. This is requested more. Nobody wants the t-shirts. Nobody wants the mask. They want the behind the velvet rope mug. It's come a thing.
All right, I think I'm just do a mug. I think I'm just gonna do a mug launch, and that's it. That's a great idea. All right, listen, I love you.
If you think I do these shows without 8,000 cups of coffee, any of you are sadly mistaken. I was drunk once. I was drunk twice with Catherine Edwards, but that's it. Never other than that, no alcohol, all coffee.
David, I'm going to tell you this. I have been searching for a very long time for somebody, and you outwork me by far, but I have put my heart and soul into this. You know, I've been a podcaster for 5 years. Like,
oh my gosh.
I schlepped this podcast shit everywhere. But I truly mean this. I have been searching for somebody that does what I do, that talks like, you know, the same topics, that works as hard. And I found you. I mean, you found me really, but you know, you just outworked me, and I love you, and you make me want to be a better podcaster because I love what you do. And you've been very good to me.
Listen, there are 24 hours in the day. You know, you have to sleep. I like going to the gym every now and then, which used to be every day. And other than that, you know, just work. I don't need a life. You know, my life is these wonderful, wonderful listeners. And so I've sacrificed everything in my life just for this show. But I'm glad that you say that.
I adore you. I'm grateful for you. And I do want all the Behind the Velvet Rope and Sarah Fraser listeners to know that I do have a prediction, which is David is kind of like George Clooney. He will find somebody later in life, and I do believe they will have a child, even though David says he hates children and doesn't want one. And believe me, I have an 11-month-old that David hears screaming all the time.
Does Amal have a child?
Yes, they have twins. George Clooney and Amal had twins. Yes.
Do you see how out of it I am when I'm just not interested in a particular subject? It's not that I'm not interested in actual Hollywood royalty. I am. And I'll talk about Drew Barrymore all day, that Julia Roberts, you know, throw in some Sarah Paulson from that American Horror Story. I don't know. George Clooney, I just look at, he has billions from that liquor sale or whatever the fuck it was. And I just tune out when I get to the George Clooney's of the world.
I'm with you though. He is like such Hollywood royalty, and I was obsessed with how hot he was for years. But he didn't marry Amal until I think he was almost 60, and now they have twins.
Okay, well, Sarah, I might find someone later in life. That is very possible. I am open to that suggestion. There will be no twins. Okay, so
I don't care. You're Elton John and whatever his partner David there. You are that. I mean, it is going to happen. I'm placing my bets. David and I like to wager. I'm placing my bets.
Not children. It's just not for me. It's David, just not.
Who are you going to leave the Behind the Velvet Rope dynasty to?
You know what? I will be running this shit from my fucking grave. Okay. Now, talk of segues. Speaking of royalty in the pop culture space, we have a major loss. We have a major loss on our hands.
R.I.P.
I mean, do you want to talk about Wendy Williams?
Yeah, let's. Because I'm curious your thoughts, because I have a whole theory that is based on absolutely nothing. But so you tell me where you want to start.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, again, because I am so busy bringing you the show, I don't read the small print. Unless someone's coming on the show, when someone comes on the show, trust me, I will know. I will know what you ate for breakfast in 2020. Like, I will know every detail of your life because I got to get all the facts for these wonderful listeners. But this is a dumb question. Like, what? I understand Wendy's been gone and she's going through stuff and she's had like a breakdown basically, but like, what what? Like, why? Like, how did this? I mean, I understand. I know that she hasn't been there in the guest host and she like is acting crazy. Like, is it that she had a psychotic break? Is that what happened? Is she just overworked? Like, what has actually, let's back up because I don't really even understand what's happened really.
Well, we don't really know. We only know the rumors and the accusations and the things that have allegedly leaked from her production staff on the Wendy Williams show. This is so shocking. And I think people don't understand how shocking this is unless you're an insider in television, because it is, I don't think people understand. It is impossible to get a talk show right now. Like no networks want one.
Impossible.
You have to be a Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore's show is hanging on by a thread. You know, talk shows were iconic. They have paved the way. Oprah Winfrey, that show is the reason that you have all these Today Show interviews and, you know, long form Joe Rogan interviews. I mean, talk shows were trailblazing. So the fact that this show has gone away basically by an announcement that says the Wendy Williams show will be canceled in 2022, welcome Sherri Shepherd, is so surprising. Now, what I pieced together is what's happened to Wendy is a relapse in drugs, meaning cocaine, alcohol, probably pills, which she was very addicted to for years when she was on the radio in DC and New York.
Pills or cocaine as well.
I think cocaine has been the drug of choice.
Okay.
Reportedly, and alcohol. So all I know is when, you know, I still work at Fox 5 DC, I'm going to say 4 years ago, she came into Fox 5 DC. Most celebrities that come through there are very, very sweet. The only two assholes have been Wendy Williams and Richard Gere. Richard Gere closed a door, did not want to look at anyone, do not ask for a photo, do not speak to me, do not look me in the eyes. And Wendy Williams came in with an entourage. No photos. There was an email sent to all of us. Do not come up, because there was at the time at Fox, there was an upstairs, downstairs, and the studios were upstairs. And it was, do not come upstairs unless you are like a part of the on camera or behind the scenes crew that needs to be up there. Absolutely no photos. And she had a massive entourage, like, which is very unusual. I mean, I'm talking like huge celebrities have come in there. Like Snoop Dogg. I mean, maybe Snoop Dogg had one person, a bodyguard. That was it. She had 10 people all around her at all times. After she left, shortly a couple months later, there was rumors that was because she was on drugs and they wanted to keep her as in and out as possible. And all I could say is I was there that day. I mean, there is truth to, you could not get near her. So I think there's that. And then I think Kevin, her ex-husband, having a love child and carrying on an affair for years, even though I'm sure she knew, despite, you know, not saying anything until the very end, I think has taken its toll, because I think she is obsessed with and madly in love with Kevin, who has run her career